Hey, what's up, everybody?
What's up?
This is Ming Chen. You might know me from Comic Book Men. And since I am an expert on comics because TV told everybody that, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to dive into the mythos of the Bigfoot Knows Karate universe. Listen, I go to Comic Cons. I have the pleasure of going to a comic book shop, reading comics, and putting them back. So I kind of know what's good and what's not. But you're browsing the shelves, and I was like, which one do I read? And you guys got me with the title here, Bigfoot Knows Karate. But beyond that, we have welcome to the launch of a campaign, long awaited, the Bigfoot Knows Karate HINAGON universe. I'm here with the creators Dan Price and KCT Allen. How are you, gentlemen?
We're doing it, man. We're doing it. We're launch night, so we're all pins and needles and making it happen, but feeling good and glad to be here. How you doing, Case?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Today's been super long. I've been up since 3 a.m. Because work stuff. Got to pay bills. But and now I'm here. Yeah, man. People really came through just looking at the campaign. Is still ongoing, hasn't completely funded yet, but good Lord, we're nearly there, man. And
yeah, well, wait, you just launched today, right? So, hey, if you get completed funded in like 8 hours, that's pretty awesome. I know you guys plug in this all day. I've seen the Instagram lives. I love you guys. Marketers, listen, you put out your own independent comic book. You got to tell the world about it. And I love how you guys are going about doing it, where, shout it from the rooftops, the internet, everything. But I want to hear all about this comic because I just heard about it a couple days ago. And first of all, you had me with the title. And listen, you guys are no stranger to success. The first Bigfoot Knows Karate Kickstarter campaign funded, probably went well above your goal. And you guys have done a couple of these campaigns, correct?
Correct. Yeah, this is number 3.
Third, yeah.
And how have you found the experience? Like, would you recommend this to aspiring comic creators, such as myself? I have a comic book. However, it's in my head. I haven't written anything. I haven't reached out to any artists. It's guys like you that inspired me to do something like this one day. Would you recommend the Kickstarter route?
Yeah,
absolutely. Yes,
100%. 100%. I'll tell you why, because I did my first comics in 2007. When you go to do comics back then, the only place that you could get, unless you had to deal with Diamond or something like that, you were convention dependent. The only way that people could see your book is if they interacted with you at a convention. This gives us a whole nother distribution channel that allows us to I get to be in my home in Austin, Texas. Casey's out near Birmingham, Alabama. And we're talking to you up in the New Jersey area, right? And,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so you're in that area, and we're able to have this discussion. Thank you, technology. Talk about a comic book, put it out on Kickstarter, and get the world to see it. I mean, that's an amazing tool. We did not have this opportunity when I first started doing comic books with my rubber-headed idiot character and all of that. You know what I mean? This is an amazing leap forward. So go Kickstarter.
Yeah, go Kickstarter for sure. And I know you guys are both Kevin Smith fans. Kevin Smith preaches like, hey, go do it yourself. You don't need some higher up to go, oh, yes, you can do this. Yes, we'll allow you to do this. Yeah, I guess we like your script. Then we're going to screw it up by changing everything. You guys take your exact vision and launch it. So
can I say something on that point real quick?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay, you mentioned Kevin Smith, and obviously we all know that you and Kevin run, in the same circle and have done the Comic Book Men and all the other things, and you were in Clerks 3 and all of that. What a voice for a generation he is for people like all of us who, I want to make a movie. I've got like $7,000 available on my credit cards. Let's go make a movie. I mean, that's balls. That's a baller move right there. I mean, that's real. And, like if he can, and, I remember being 19 when I watched Clerks for the first time going, why can't I go do something like this? And, now here we are, we get to go make whatever it is we want to make without any rules imparted on us. We just do it how we want. We're lucky because we're with a publisher, lesser known comics, but they still let us do what we want. And that makes it so much nicer,
I love it. All right, enough blowing Kevin Smith. Bigfoot Knows Karate, HINAGON. Tell me about it. What's the elevator pitch?
Okay, so you want to take this?
All right, so there is a town in Feudal Japan that is under siege by a massive water dragon or a Mizuki. So basically, our guy Bigfoot has to go out there and basically save the town. But what are his motives? Is he being, is this all fully altruistic, or is this, does he have ulterior motives? And also, not only is there going to be blood, guts, all the stuff you expect from a Bigfoot Knows Karate comic, but you also get to witness something, a new villain arises. And this is going to have implications in the book. It works as a one-shot, completely, totally, bottle issue, but it informs the book, and the book informs it. So if you like the series, if you want to get more out of the series, read this. If you like, Adam's art, and you're like, oh crap, I would like to buy this book and look at this art, you're going to enjoy it just plainly on like, oh, that's a solid story. So that's Bigfoot Knows Karate HINAGON.
That's amazing. So it stands completely independent. You don't have to read the previous series, which you guys launched on Kickstarter. And so just this is a 24-page one-shot launched today. If you go to Kickstarter, just search Bigfoot Knows Karate HINAGON. If you need the info, sorry, hit the wrong button. There we go. Bigfoot Knows Karate. HINAGON is spelled HINAGON. You can also check out the publisher at Lesser Known Comics or lesserknowncomics.com. The campaign just launched. Going alive. It's alive, everybody. It's alive. Go on there.
It is.
Check that out. I love the video. The Kickstarters always. You need a good video. That's you got to show the people the goods. And we gave you a preview of that. I'll play it at the end as well, just in case you need to see it. And just make it. So, Dan, you're the creator, and Casey, you're the writer. Is that correct?
That's correct. And Dan and I co-write on the series, and Dan does the art in the series. For this issue, we actually did art with Adam Caswell, who is a rookie find. We came out of nowhere with issue 1 with some fan art. And we were like, we gotta get this guy a job. So
yeah, like Adam starts sending me DMs. He's like, I'm working on a piece for Bigfoot Knows Karate. So that's awesome. You know, we've received a lot of fan art. We've received over 150 pieces of fan art
Wow.
up to this point right now. And Adam starts sending me these drawings of eels, and I'm like, these are cool. What are they? Well, then the eels are connected to Cthulhu, which is a bad guy in the first book, Kung Fu Thulu. And you know, and then he sends me, he mails it to my house. Hold on. He mailed me the artwork to my home. And
holy cow, that's amazing. That's fan art, ladies and gentlemen. But you know, you two inspired this. But I mean, that looks like hundreds of hours of you know, whatever that is. That it looks like pencil. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pen and ink and
tiny
Copic markers for the great. And it's so, you know, and Adam came, you know, he mailed this to me, and I said, how about I pay you for this? We make it a deluxe edition on the, you know, the cover of our deluxe edition. And we did that. And then he came around and did a wraparound cover for book 2 that was absolutely gorgeous. And so
bonkers.
It was nuts. And he says, you know, and he says to us, look, you know, I want to be a part of, you know, what you guys are doing. And, you know, we were like, yeah, Team BFKK, you're in, you know, and he's been running with us ever since. We've done Baltimore together and that sort of thing, and it's been a lot of fun. But you know, having him come on and do a full book, I mean, that's the dream right there. When you got somebody who is so talented as Adam and such a nice guy, that it's just been a really great process working with him. And yeah, it's his first interiors on a comic. I mean, hey, what are you gonna do? You know, it's amazing.
Listen, when you I gotta point back to Kevin. So, long story short, people are always asking me since I work with him, like, hey, I want to work with Kevin. How do I get a job with Kevin? How do I meet Kevin? Like, should I send a resume or something? I'm like, no. If you send a resume, we're just gonna throw it out. You know how you get to Kevin? You do something cool. So, you know, my example, I made a fan website. He found it, gave me a call, and I wound up on Comic Book Man. I wound up working with him for over 20 years. Have you ever met Brian Quinn from Practical Jokers? He made a prank tape, sent it up to Kevin. He got hired, and you know, look at him now. He's Mr. BQ Quinn. So I love this. I love, you know what that's called? Initiative, my friends. It's called taking initiative, but at the same time being inspired by something that you really liked, and going, hey, I'm going to create something for the creators to, you know, just to show them how much I loved it. Maybe impress them, and who knows, I might end up working with them. And in this case, it definitely worked out. So great job, guys. Well done. I mean, not only have you created something else, you inspired, my friends. You inspired.
We've been so lucky in terms of the amount of amazing artists who've gotten involved with us in some way, shape, or form. Like I said, we've received like 150 plus pieces of fan art. We put deluxe editions of the books out, so we can have like a 10-page fan art gallery in the back of each book, you know, so people can, you know, they can get the regular edition, or they can get the deluxe that has the art gallery, as well as we do director commentaries on DVDs. So you click on the URL or on the QR code in there, and it takes you to our director's commentary video.
So cool.
So that's what the difference between our regulars and our deluxes are. And we're keeping that spirit alive with this book with HINAGON. You know, I mean, we say it's like Godzilla versus Kong meets Kill Bill with a twist. That's what we say about the comic constantly.
Those are like my 3 favorite things in the world, my friends.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, no, Godzilla versus Kong, Kill Bill, and a gnarly twist. How can you go wrong?
I love it. For anybody not familiar with the term HINAGON, what does the word HINAGON mean? And what's the origin?
Bigfoot in Japanese.
It means what?
Bigfoot in Japanese.
Oh, wow. Okay. So
it is the Japanese equivalent of a Bigfoot. And, you know, and regionally, these creatures look a little different from one to the other. But, you know, what you get in North America versus what you get in Japan, versus what you get up in up in Canada or something like that. They all have a different vibe to them. But we have taken the idea that Bigfoot, he's the only one of his kind. He's the only one of his species. He's the only one that that nobody knows him. Nobody knows what his world is about, who he is, and what would that do to your psyche? What would that do to your soul? What would that do to you as a being that nobody knows you, and you know, martial arts, but we suppose that if he's the only one of his kind, then this Bigfoot is the Bigfoot that everybody knows, or at least is not knows, but, is aware of. And so why can't he be in feudal Japan hundreds of years ago? And why can't he be in the modern timeline as well? So there's so much history that we get to explore with this comic. HINAGON is just the first peeling back the first layer of that onion.
Amazing. And has the HINAGON been spotted in Japan? Are there recorded sightings of the HINAGON, aka Bigfoot, in Japan?
As far as I know, that there have been throughout history, as far as that stuff goes, and how it informs the comic, we try to put it in a box. There are cryptids out there. There are people that believe in cryptids. Our own feelings as to the validity of those claims or whatever are they're whatever. This is all about the story. I want there's always going to be stories.
Right.
There's from the dawn of man there were stories. There were things that happened that people couldn't explain, and they explained it through story. And it's fun taking those myths and taking those maybe myth understandings and turning it into pure gold, baby. Doing this comic.
It's and all pure gold, my friends. All about pure gold.
Oh yeah.
That's amazing.
We're like the Rumpelstiltskin of indie comics.
Oh yeah, for sure. For anybody who didn't read the first series, why Bigfoot and why feudal Japan, and why put the two together?
Go ahead.
So okay, with this, we wanted to do a story in between the issues of the main arc, and just have fun with it. There's so much world to explore with this character, and so much story that we can just kind of play with. We have a lot of his life kind of mapped out. We even explore that in issue 2. There's a flashback scene, and it's just one page, but if you look really close, you're going to see a bunch of crazy stuff happening. And it'd be a shame to not get into that. And you only have so much room in 5 issues. So we were like, why not get Adam to help us illustrate this and make a fun thing for the folks at home that want to check it out. So why Bigfoot? Why Japan? Why feudal Japan? It's just because we wanted to tell a story there.
I mean, I think you answered. Yeah, basically the answer is why Bigfoot and why feudal Japan, because Bigfoot and feudal Japan are awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Rule of cool, man. That was the a thing that they used in the 70s in the Marvel bullpen. Rule of cool. If it doesn't make sense, as long as it's cool.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, and it totally worked out for them for sure. And did you use anything as reference material, both in creating your Japanese world and Bigfoot? Because when I think of Bigfoot, I think a couple of things. The infamous film, the Whitney footage. Was it the Patterson? I believe the Patterson footage.
Yeah, Patterson Gimlin.
Yes, and then immediately my other thing that I always go to is the $6 Million Man versus Bigfoot.
The Andre the Giant episode. The Andre the Giant episode.
The Andre the Giant episode. Yes. Yeah.
So Adam, Adam's not here to talk about the reference work that he did for HINAGON, but I mean, he and I talked extensively about that. He's like, man, I have found books on this and books on that, trying to get the look and feel right of the whole thing. And so he can talk to you about that. But I wish he was here to do so, but I know he's watching with his wife and right now. So, hey, Adam, how are you doing?
What's up, Adam? You're awesome.
He is awesome. And but in reference for Bigfoot himself, like when I was coming up with the look and feel of what the main line was going to be, what's up? What's going on? Rob Zip's in the room, man. How's it going?
There we go. What's up?
Zip is incredible. And so I really looked at I watched a lot of documentaries on Bigfoot. I not knowing anything about the subject matter, I went and watched a lot of documentaries, did some readings, and the one thing I came to the conclusion of is nobody's seen Bigfoot. Nobody actually has a good line on what he looks like and all that. So I took some liberties with the design. Like made him bare chest, more like a gorilla in that regard. And people say to me, he's got a gorilla chest. I'm like, it's okay. Trust me. He's a Bigfoot. He'll get better. But the one thing that, like, from an aesthetic standpoint, no other artist does this when they're drawing the character. But I always draw him with really heavy, dark lines under his eyes. And there's a reason behind that. And I don't even think I've explained this to Casey. Maybe I have. Maybe I haven't.
He has sleep apnea. And he has the mask.
Artwork here. Yeah, you can see.
He doesn't sleep. Is my attitude on the matter is that he doesn't need to sleep. He's Bigfoot. So he always looks a little bit exhausted. Adam's got it right there. Yeah. Like, just have those big shadows under his eyes, those big bags under his eyes, because he doesn't sleep much. Maybe he and I have that in common. That's like my one commonality with the Bigfoot in our comic, is neither of us get any good sleep. So anyway, I digress.
No, not at all. Who else doesn't sleep is and we keep mentioning his name, but Kevin Smith. As long as I've known him and worked with him, guy doesn't sleep, and so I kind of learned. I was like, hey, maybe that's part of why he's so successful. So I kind of gave it a shot, and it's worked out so far. So yeah, while everyone's out partying and sleeping in, we're hustling. Hey, there's something to be said about that, and works for HINAGON as well.
Man, we're working on it. We're trying.
That's awesome. Comic book wise, what are your major inspirations for both of you? What you guys grew up reading? Is there maybe a run or a series maybe you called back on? I was like, oh man, that was really cool. I want to kind of incorporate that in this. Like, what are you guys really into?
So, for this in particular, and actually for Bigfoot Knows Karate, action is a hard thing for me to write, and not that I can't do it, because I think we're freaking doing it and killing it. But it's I like jabber, and Dan says, "Hey Casey, quit fucking doing this and get to the point." And he's right. One thing I had to do is really kind of go back to school and study some of the older stuff, especially like I looked at like a bunch of Walt Simonson stuff. I looked at a lot of the old school Hulk, and specifically like Peter David's run, and just people that were really good at drawing big guys beating the hell out of each other. Because I mean, you can do that all day, but can you make it interesting, and can you keep the story going? Because if all of this is happening and the story just like shits the bed, then what's the point? It's not additive to the comic. It's not additive to the story. You have to put something in there to not only, make it interesting for the viewer, but also, keep dropping lines, keep right. Things going.
Yeah. And you make good right. Writing action is not easy. You got to be descriptive for the artist, and then be descriptive enough for the artist to render what you have in your head. But that's tough in a couple sentences. So I applaud you for doing that. I know it's not easy, my friend. I know it's not easy writing pure action, but including enough dialogue to keep it interesting as well. You can have as much action on the page as you want, but if you can't tell what's going on, then it's kind of useless. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, well done for sure. So I love one shots because you can kind of do whatever you want with it, or tell a backstory, or or jump in any point in time, or make a revelation. This one, why 24 pages? You could have made it 8, 12, 20. Was 24 always in the works? Was that planned?
No, go ahead.
Okay, we wanted to kind of keep a standard comic format, just like a regular issue of a comic. Also, doing, you see how detailed the art is. Adam has one hand that he draws with, and we want that hand to stay healthy. We didn't want it to fall off. So we really kind of wanted to, write a tight, 24 page story, and then get out of there and put it at a price point where our readers are going, holy shit, let's buy this. This is rad. And hopefully by the time they're done with it, they go, oh my gosh, I really enjoyed this ride. I want to read this series. Because, hey, we got 2 more that's coming from, and then, already in the can that you can get at lesserknowncomics.com. Or, or you can, buy it during the campaign for HINAGON. There's going to be an option for that. Or this is a 5-issue series, so we're still going to keep offering it. Issue 3 is in the writing stage right now, but right now we're talking about HINAGON, and you can get not only HINAGON but issues 1 and 2. So
amazing. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead, please.
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna throw up some of the art here. So you sent me a whole folder. Let's go with the covers first, actually. So I believe this is the Dennis Valencia cover.
Yeah,
absolutely gorgeous.
Gorgeous work. Valencia knocks it out of the park every time.
This
is actually
baller.
our deluxe edition foil cover. So this is gonna have the gold foil on Karate, and it's going to be a beautiful book, and it's a deluxe book, so it's going to have the regular story in there, plus the art gallery, plus the director's commentary in that as well. So, and if you buy the foil cover, you actually get a reader copy of the regular cover with it at no extra charge. So
I love it, because that's what we as collectors would want, and
exactly.
What you're giving other collectors. I love it.
Besides your foil cover, you want to be able to read your copy and then put that foil away, because that's what people do. So
I mean, it's not microwave safe, so we have to provide another avenue.
Exactly.
We want to be known as the microwave safe indie comic creators.
Yeah. We care about you and your microwaves.
Yeah,
exactly. Can you tell me about this cover? This cover is awesome as well.
My jaw hit the floor when I saw
this. This is the deluxe edition cover by a gentleman named Andy Bloor. He's out of England, actually.
Merry old England.
Beautiful, beautiful work, and I'm looking forward to working with Andy on something in the future as well. He's an incredible artist.
Super talented.
And I have one more here, which this that's also amazing. I mean, what other edges can I use? But can you tell me about this one?
This was Adam's regular cover for the book. This is our regular edition, and it was colored by a gentleman named Luis Thomas. Luis is an amazing artist in his own right, and did an amazing job. This is actually the foil. This is one of the covers that he did for us for our foil edition.
Oh man,
last issue. So. So we've got Adam doing the inks, pencils and inks, and we've got Luis on colors on that one. So some beautiful covers, as well as we have a sketch cover option as well that people can get their hands on. They can get blanks, or they can get there's some commission tiers available for Adam to do a cover for you.
That's amazing. And I'm going to throw up some of Adam's art here. This is the dragon. Really, really amazing. Just this black and white. It's fantastic. I don't. It's dynamic. It's and it looks like he poured just a ton of hours into these. So I'm just gonna cycle through these, and just kind of in a world where I pick up the Marvel and DC stuff at the store every week, and this one's especially amazing. It's glossy, it's in color, whatever. But this actually kind of reminds me of going to this store when I was a kid in the late '80s, early '90s, picking up the old school Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comics, the Eastman and Laird, maybe like the first 5 issues with the big format. Before they all had colored masks, before they ate pizza, the artwork was very much like this, and the violent, gritty, and awesome, and that's kind of what I thought. what it threw me back to when I saw this art, which is really so great job, Adam Caswell, for sure.
Absolutely. Adam's artwork it's just heads and tails, man. I mean, it's just so a cut above what other people are doing, and just so glad to have him on our team for crying out loud. I mean, seriously.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did you come up with the Bigfoot Knows Karate concept? I always like asking people, like, when did you come up with the concept, and how long did it take from the moment you thought of it until you got that box, you opened it up, and you pulled out that first issue?
I hope you have some time.
I do. Go for it.
Yeah, no. The first idea for this comic came around in 2014, and it was supposed to be a comedy, and it was terrible. And it was just wasn't funny, you know. I mean, look, I've written a lot of comedy comics over the years, and this one just wasn't gelling. So I took the name Bigfoot Knows Karate, I pinned it up on the wall, and it stayed there for years, like till about 2017 and 2018, and I started sketching the character again, and I was sketching him with those tired eyes, and I was thinking a lot about who he was as a creature, you know, and what would, you know, that whole psyche thing I mentioned before. And as I'm drawing and I post them on Instagram here and there, and you know, and doing my thing, Casey's who I've met through the Comic Jam at this point, which is an online comic book workshop that matches artists and writers together to create one-page comics, which is an incredible thing unto itself. Comicjam.com or .net, Casey?
.com. And it's such a great way to dip your toes and see if you want to do comics. If you can write one page and get that page illustrated, congratulations, you've made a comic. So.
And Casey and I had worked together on the Comic Jam on a project, and he had said to me, so when are you going to start doing something with this Bigfoot thing that you got going on? I see it on Instagram. What are you doing with it? I'm like, Casey, I got an idea for a story, I promise you. But it just couldn't be the same like revenge tale we've seen so many times in like a martial arts film and that sort of thing. Like we've seen all that. It needed to be a different story. It needed to have a different hook and the whole thing. And so it took me a long time to kind of come up with what the vibe was going to be. I mean, but you know, Casey came in with these great ideas. You know, originally he was going to edit. He was going to be the editor. And then as he's come up with great ideas, like, you know, what's up?
I just couldn't shut up.
Yeah, he couldn't shut up. And he wore me down. And he came in with all these great ideas. And I was like, just co-write with me, which I think he was apprehensive to do at first because co-writing is not an easy thing to do with somebody. But it's worked out really well, I think. So anyway, we're on our third project together. And we've got a lot of really cool ideas, you know, down the pike. But I mean, you know, Bigfoot Knows Karate, Chupacabra with a shotgun, Kung Fu Thulu, all these Thermonucleodon, all these crazy characters that we're coming up with and getting to play with in the main series, and then to go throw everybody for a turn and put them in feudal Japan with a whole new, you know, set of challenges. It's cool how it's all going to tie together. But like Casey said, if you just read this one, you want a kick-ass story, monster of the week, kick-ass artwork, this is going to get you where you want to go. You find that you like it, check out the chapters 1 and 2 on the campaign, because look, man, we're, like I said, Godzilla versus Kong meets Kill Bill with a twist, and we mean every single word of that.
Right, with a little Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon on steroids.
Steroids.
Absolutely.
On steroids.
Yeah, steroids, my friends. The juice. They're on the juice.
You got to have the juice. The juice is always going.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I know you guys are all apart. I think you're in Austin. You're near Birmingham, Alabama. Adam's up. It says here in the middle of the woods in northern Maine.
Correct.
How do you guys collaborate? Are you guys just kind of sending pages back and forth? I guess God bless technology.
Absolutely.
Dropbox. FaceTime, whatever. Facebook Messenger, whatever. How do you guys collaborate?
A lot of Instagram DM,
okay,
where we have a thread that between the three of us that we're constantly going back and forth, with different ideas and that sort of thing. WeTransfer. Thank you, WeTransfer.
Thanks, Rob Zip.
Send us 2 gigabyte pages at a time, 2 gigabyte files at a time. So that's huge. Casey and I write in a shared document. That's how we work together. So it's like without the technology, I don't know where we would be on this one. Hell, my laptop hard drive died a few days ago. I had to laptop within an hour. and they were able to recover my data over the course of 3 days. But it was
It was a
like,
nail biter.
oh my God. Yeah. I mean, most of it was backed up already, but it was like, there's a few things I was like, man, I need all that shit for that Kickstarter. I really need that now. Can y'all give me my data, please? But, but without that technology, I mean, where would we be? We're able to make a comic book out of, 3 people displaced across the country, and we're able to do this. I mean, thank you so much, technology.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. And shout out to Rob Zip, who just pledged.
Hey, thank you, Rob Zip.
Thank you so much.
Can you tell me about the Kickstarter campaign? Where what kind of tiers do you have? What kind of rewards? Where does it start? How high does it go? And what can people get if they pledge?
All right, so just to run through that real quick, we do price points that work for everybody's budget. So we have a digital edition for $4. You can get the physical copy for $8. The digital catch-up for $12. Deluxe editions for $15. You can get the 2-pack of blank covers for $15. And it goes on from there. We have the tiers we have an early bird tier right now where you can get issued the regular and the deluxe cover for only $20, and that's going to end on the 22nd. The foil cover, you can get the physical catch up where you can get issues 1 and 2 and HINAGON. You can get all the HINAGON covers, and even retailers. If you're a retailer and you want to get a copy, you want to get books for your store, we have that tier available as well. There is a lesser known comics tier that's pretty rad. It's a lesser known comic starter pack. You get issues 1 and 2 of Bigfoot plus all 3 of the HINAGON covers, and then 10 other books from lesser known comics. That package is available as well, and there's a lot of good shit in there. And then the one thing that we have. Hold on, I'm walking away.
We got visual aid.
Visual aid for this one.
I hope you guys got.
We have our motherfucker championship tier as well.
Oh,
that allows you to get
belt? You guys have a belt?
We have.
All right, that's it. You guys win.
All right,
absolutely.
So you can get for $4.50. You can get I will sign the belt for you and mail you all sorts of HINAGON books to go along with it. So you can get So there's a championship tier available. If you want to go that far, we have that for you available and ready to go. And I would like to point out, Casey, we already sold one belt tonight.
I mean,
what?
Yeah. This is why we fight for, my friends.
I love it.
We fight for the strap, my friends. It's all about the strap. That's a genius reward, my friends. And with the title called Bigfoot Knows Karate, of course, you guys are massive pro wrestling fans, of course. So
a little bit. I am. Casey's not, but I am. But wrestling's rad. So, one of my favorite things at Brooklyn Comic Con was the guy who's dressed up like Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh yeah,
that guy was amazing. Like we still do.
Oh, he was great. I watch MMA and boxing with my wife, and a few weeks ago we were watching an MMA fight, and my wife said something like, hit him, pound him hard. I'm like, no, do not. This is, I wouldn't say pound anybody.
Right. So, it's all semantics, my friends. All semantics. Yeah. So, I wanted to ask you guys about your backgrounds, because I'm assuming this is not your full-time job creating comic books. Unfortunately, as you know, we put millions of dollars of heart into these things, but that doesn't really translate to dollars. What is your what is your regular day like, first of all, and then I'll ask you about I'm gonna ask you about your creator backgrounds as well. But what do you guys do? What are your day jobs?
Case, go ahead, man.
Okay, so I work for a company that does medical instruments. I laser weld and work in a microscope all day. So when I get home, it's challenging. It can be fun. I get home, pick up the kids, do all the dad stuff that I have to do, and then when they go to bed, it's time to do comics, and I'll write or whatever. I call Dan every day when I get off And when I get home and walk the dogs, we have a big when I get off. I walk the dogs through the woods. There are trails out behind me, and that's where 90% of the stuff I've written has kind of at least been formulated or discussed. It's a great place to go to just kind of, at the end of the day, just let all of that stuff just fall off of you. I'm out there with my doggy, and we're pooping in the woods and writing comics. He's pooping in the woods.
Yeah.
It's a shared experience. We know. So
communal.
My background. So I've been a graphic designer, art director, creative director for the last long time. And so I've been working, professionally as a graphic designer since like 2006 or 7 or something like that. And so I've been drawing since I could crawl. And, so making the transition into comics, I think like you go to a comic convention and you go down Artist Alley and you say to the artist, what do you do for a living? I'm a graphic designer. I think it's just one of those things that graphic designers, we all love comics, and, some of us, decided, hey, I got to get in on this. So that's where my background is. My day job. Yeah. I'm a creative director for a marketing and advertising group. And so my day starts early, and I start drawing early in the morning. That's usually the best time for me to get some work done. Everybody's asleep. The house is quiet. You can get a lot accomplished, because by the time when Casey's ready to go start making comics, when the kids are gone to bed, I'm gone to bed too. Because, I go to bed early. I like to wake up early to do all this stuff. So.
Yeah. And so this shouldn't shock you guys. My background's in graphic design as well.
Hey.
The thing that both of us would know, or all three of us would know, is when you get a job as a graphic designer and an art director, you're working on other people's stuff, not your own stuff. And they expect you to put just as much heart into their stuff as you do in your own. And listen, I do my best. I'm proud of what I create, but ultimately, I would rather spend most of my time doing my own stuff. So it's tough working on other people's visions, and trying to replicate what they see in their head, while you have something that you want to create as well. And I even though sometimes it sucks working on other people's stuff, it's kind of nice doing that and then being able to go home and work on your own stuff, because you appreciate it more.
Yep.
You don't want to like to toil all day on somebody else's stuff, but when you get home, you're like, okay, I get to work on my own stuff, and I think you put more energy into it. So
I think the thing about it is, for me, was I remember trying to find some artistic expression in my design work. And, you'd have a client, say, this is what we want, and this is how we want it, and this is what we're going to do. And you're like, okay, but what about this really amazing idea I have? This is what we want. This is how we want it. This is what we want to do. And, the day that I was able to separate myself out from that was the day that my day job got a lot better, because this isn't about my vision. This is about their vision.
Right.
We're tools to get, here's the concept. Here's where it needs to go. We need to translate that to an audience that they'll understand and digest what the client's wanting to say. When I started doing comics again during the lockdown, it was, that was the day that my day job got like a million times better. Not that I didn't like it before, but I didn't feel this desire to like put myself into the work. I wanted to put the time into the work and the expertise into the work, and all of those things that, that make a good campaign. But what it didn't have to have was my heart and soul in it. It needed what I have here and what I can do with my hands to make that work. Coming home and then I work from home, coming home. But starting, going and working on the comic in the evenings or in the mornings, whenever I get to do it, that's where you have that. That's where you put your love. That's where you put your heart into it.
Right.
Your brain's into your day job, but you put your heart into all this shit that we're trying to accomplish here.
I'm totally stealing that. I love it.
Cheers.
I love it. I wanted to ask you about, because you have a pretty unique feature, which I love, your director's commentary.
Yeah.
the deluxe edition. Did you say, was there a code, like a QR code or like a link?
Code, yeah. So you just,
How did that come about? Because that's genius. I grew up in the age, I'm old. I collected laser discs and the precursor to DVDs. And the nice part about the laser disc, I think the first director's commentary I ever listened to was the Clerks one for the movie Clerks. Yeah, it was Kevin Smith. There was a drunk Jason Mewes, Brian O'Halloran, and a couple other cast members. And
so that's one of the first ones I listened to as well.
Yeah,
you know, and I mean, love director's commentaries, man. And I always wanted to do a director's commentary in a comic book. Like, this had been a thing for years. I mean, we're talking over a decade of wanting to do this. And how do you do that? How do you do a hey buddy? How do you do a director's commentary in a printed form? That just is not going to work. You can make a comic book size artwork and make it magazine size, with all these annotations over there and all this stuff. What a headache that sounded like it was going to be. And then during the lockdown, I'm sitting and I've been working with QR codes for years. You know, I don't know why it didn't hit me, but I'm sitting there at lockdown one day and I went to go pick up some food for the family, and you had to take your phone and put it on the QR code on the thing so you can read the menu. I'm like, well, holy shit, if we can do that to order food, why can't I just have this pull up a YouTube video, and then we can have that director's commentary experience while you're reading the comic. So what we do is, myself and Casey, luckily so far we've been able to get Kat, the high-heeled gamer, to host it for us the last 2 years. She's
great. I love Kat.
I love Kat. We both love Kat.
Yeah, Kat's amazing.
We have Casey. Kat says that Casey and I have like the best bromance in indie comics. I don't know if that's true or not, but we'll take it. So Kat's amazing. So she's hosted that first in the past, and then we get a few other folks to come in, and all the talking heads just discuss the comic at length.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, look, it took us an hour and a half to do the first book. It took us 2 hours to talk about book 2. I mean, that's how long, and these books are like 30 and 36 pages. So either the books are really long and intense, or we're obviously way too verbose. But it's a great way for us to talk about the comic. Like issue 1's a great example. We pitched it as, like Godzilla versus Kong meets Kill Bill with a twist. Bigfoot versus Cthulhu and the ultimate cryptid showdown. That's all we talked about when we were selling that first book, that first Kickstarter. That's all we talked about. So when it came time for the director's commentary, all right, now let's talk about.
We can
really finally just blather on about what we were thinking, because there's just such a gnarly twist at the end of book 1 that that nobody saw coming. So the director's commentary gives us an opportunity to expound on that to an audience that's already engaged in the project, because they've read the comic. Now they've taken the time to watch the video. We know they're there, to get the information, so we can really let it all hang out, basically, is what that director's commentary affords us.
I love it. You get way more in depth. There's no time limits. You can go, as far into detail on each page and your whole process. I love it. Imagine if like Jim Lee or like Neil Adams did a director's commentary,
right?
In their books. Like that's awesome. And for me, it reminds me of a podcast. So that's
exactly.
That's
essentially what it is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's really, really cool. So if I were to ask you guys, Bigfoot Knows Karate, what is your ultimate goal for this? I know, of course, you want people to read it, to love it, to collect it, to follow it. But do you have an ultimate goal in mind? TV series, movie franchise, taking over the world. What if I were to ask you what your ultimate goal for this was? What would your answer be?
I'm going to take this one, Casey. Okay.
Go for it. Yeah.
Okay. I want animation. Okay. That's what I want more than anything else. Is I want animation. I know Casey wants yacht money. He said that.
give me that stinking yacht
money. So, but that, to me, an animated series on a network or streaming would be amazing. 10 parts. It doesn't need to be long. 10 parts. We can get through the first 5 issues in 10 parts. So,
yeah, and like you said, something we like is also always the monster of the week or the villain of the week. Like this, hey, that there are a lot of villains out there, whether established, fictional, mythical, or even real. The sky's the limit on that. So that's really amazing. For anyway, So if you want to find this, the campaign is launched today. Go to Kickstarter. Just search Bigfoot Knows Karate HINAGON. You can also go to Lesser Known Comics or follow at Lesser Known Comics as well. Dan, you've got your social media handle up on there. Casey, what's yours? How do we follow you?
Robots Eat Guitar. That's my handle all across. It is the dumbest handle ever. It was my commentary on mid-aughts indie rock, and I kind of stick to it. Once you submit yourself as that handle, you're kind of stuck with it forever.
Robots
so
Eat Guitar.
Robots plural, eat single guitar single.
Yeah, how can you forget that one? That's amazing. That's amazing. But again, head over to Kickstarter, Bigfoot Knows Karate HINAGON. Did I miss anything? Is there anything else you wanted to hit?
No, I think I'm good. Casey, you good?
Yeah, man. We're just really excited about getting this book out there into the world. So it's not lost on me when people buy our books, they're using their hard-earned cash to, buy this thing that we made. And we really, really, really take that into consideration when we're making these books. We don't want to give you an issue of a comic that goes nowhere, that sucks, that doesn't have any purpose. We want you to be titillated. We want you to have so much enjoyment over this thing that you can hold in your hands, the tactile feel of reading a comic. There's nothing like it, man. It's fun to read, digitally or whatever. And like, I've been doing that a lot lately with some of the like Big Two stuff, just because I don't have enough room to store all my comics.
Yeah, and it's convenient. It's convenient, but
exactly. But with indie comics especially, man, Dan puts so much work into getting, because he works in publishing. He knows what paper looks like crap. He knows what paper and what gloss and what sheen and all that. All of that stuff goes into the potion that we're stirring up and putting out and making this magic of a book. Dan is the freaking man when it comes to putting out a really nice looking book.
Thanks, man. You're the best. It's to pick up where Casey was talking about, with just to our readers, just thank you
Absolutely.
so unbelievably much. I mean, it's like we've been so, I'm not a religious person, but we've been blessed, by so many amazing people on Instagram and Twitter and that sort of thing who've gotten behind the project and have taken the time to draw the book, draw the character, and share, like, comment, subscribe, post, retweet.
Even just sharing the stuff is amazing.
Sharing it just helps us out so much, and I'm just really grateful that when you're used to writing the comic about a dude who wears a rubber on his head, I'm glad not to get funny looks anymore when I say, this is my comic. And but I mean, then again, I used to give out these things when I handed out my comics. So
hey man, always be protected. You never know what's out there.
Never know what's out there. So
indie comics is almost antithetical to getting laid. So
hey, I know a lot of people who had a really good time because of these. Thank you very much. I got people on a Friday who picked one up, and on a Saturday came by and thanked me. So
and they came back for more, which is what you guys create, and you leave us coming back for more, my friends.
There we go.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much. I love this. I love meeting you guys. You guys are like the best bromance in indie comics, the high heeled gamer. Totally correct, my friend. It's totally correct. Again, go to Kickstarter, Bigfoot Knows Karate HINAGON. Pick up for as little as $4. You can pick up the digital issue. But listen, we love tactile comics as well. $8, pick up the physical issue. Or get the belt, my friends. Become a champion.
Oh my gosh, get the belt.
It's a small price to pay to become a champion, my friends. Great luck with the campaign. I'm going to be sharing and telling everybody about it. And it was an honor to talk to you guys for sure.
Thank you, Ming, for having us on.
Same here, man. Thank you.
Really
and I'll see you guys at a con soon. I love Birmingham, Alabama, for sure. and we saw each other at Brooklyn Comic Con, but I'll be back in Austin soon as well.
Yeah,
and
man.
I hope
You'll
to
be
meet
at
Adam soon
Comic-Palooza
as
this
well.
year?
Oh yeah, I go every year. They love. I love them. They love me,
Yeah.
and I should be back every year. So
See you then.
can't wait to see you guys again. I'm gonna play us out with the trailer. But again, everybody, Kickstarter. Go to Kickstarter, search Bigfoot Knows Karate HINAGON, pick up the issue. I cannot stress this enough. I cannot endorse this enough as a fan and a connoisseur. And Dan, Casey, thank you very much. You guys are amazing, and great luck with the campaign.
Thank you,
Guys.
sir.
Find us on Kickstarter, BigfootKnowsKarate.com, and thecomicjam.com. We love you all.
And lesserknowncomics.com. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.